Well, good morning, sisters. How are you? Hope you're having a beautiful day. First, I wanted to introduce Dr. Cage. Um, so he's the most amazing healer, and I'm including him in this journey for us. He has an undergraduate degree in physics and astronomy, and you'll see why that's important, why I mentioned this. Master's degree in space technology, doctorate in naturopathic medicine, and another master's in Oriental medicine. His professions have included rocket scientist, naturopathic doctor, acupuncturist, physics professor. He's an educator, lecturer, author, radio, and TV personality. Being trained in a holistic systems of both Western and Eastern medicine, energy medicine, as well as quantum physics, he brings a wide array of tools to the table. Is that a good introduction?
That works. I almost don't recognize myself when I hear you talk like that.
And, every time you say that.
Well, and every time it's true, because you said things today that last week you didn't. So, let me just say how much I appreciate working with you, somebody who has seen through the misinformation that's being spread out there in the world, and you're focusing on two things that are really crucially important. There, those are my fingers. Number one is a true holistic approach, integrating the body, the mind, the spirit, and the environment. Mm-hmm. And the second thing is empowering people to take responsibility for their own health and giving them the tools that they need to do that. And so both of those are things that are missing in conventional mainstream medicine. And I am pleased and happy to help support your efforts for getting the word out.
First thing is first, setting up the foundation so that you don't even need to go outside to seek bioidentical hormone therapy to begin with. But if you do, once you set the foundation where you've done everything, the detoxing, nutrition, the sleep, the movement, all this stuff that takes time, if there's anything residual left, and if you have to, then you ask your body if you need it. Sometimes women do need it. It's not like, oh, never ever take it. We have.
Right. I never considered bioidentical hormones to be a panacea, and everybody should be on them. I know there's authors out there in the world who claim that, but women have been transitioning through menopause in a perfectly healthy manner and then living long, healthy lives afterwards. Women have been doing this for many, many, many tens of thousands of years.
Yes.
And it's only in the last 60 to 70 years that menopause has become a disease.
Yes, and in my studies, in my observations of centenarian women, I travel around the world studying different cultures and diets, specifically centenarians who demonstrate longevity. When I interview these women, they don't know what menopause is. First of all, that's not even in their vocabulary.
Right.
Secondly, if I describe the symptom to them, they don't understand. They think hot flashes is something that happens on a very hot summer day or hot summer night. It's from the outside heat. No, it's like burning up from the inside out.
Right.
They don't get that. They haven't had that.
That is exactly the same thing that Weston Price found 100 years ago when he was traveling around the world doing his nutritional research, is that he had his wife interview the women, and they didn't know what menopause was. They'd never heard of it. They would transition through, maybe less and less and smaller menstrual cycles, and then you're past that point. And it's a very empowering time, because then the women wouldn't get pregnant and they could go be their powerful, wise woman in the world for many, many decades without having to worry about staying at home and raising more children. So it's very powerful to learn to, do I need different food? Do I need a detox? Do I need different nutrients? You can learn to use this on yourselves.
So just honing that back to that, it's really important to understand, because a lot of women are scared to go through that transition. They associate the transition to something horrible happening. And most women in a modern world, they have those symptoms happening, whether it's hot flashes, night sweating, fatigue,
Right.
mental fog, joint pains, low libido, hair loss. And those are none of them by themselves. And a lot of them happen in combination. None of them are pretty to deal with.
Right.
And so, but it's really important for women to understand transition. It's a necessary part. It's just a natural part. You don't have to go through it suffering and
Right. You
taking steps, foundational.
should not suffer going through that. Absolutely not. And whether you do or not has a lot to do with the lifestyle that you're teaching. So solid nutrition, detoxification, meditation, and a spiritual approach that will help you manage stress, exercise, everything that goes into healthy longevity. That's your foundation. All right. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much. Would you, before you go, can you share about your book? Tell us about your book and what they can find in your book. Remember your book?
Heal Your Life, Heal the World is a compilation of what I learned in more than 20 years of clinical work doing a combination of naturopathic medicine and oriental medicine. And what I saw were the big three causes of ill health, which are low quality foods and the alteration of our food supply. The second major cause is environmental toxins in all their various forms, both chemical and radiation. And the third is the abnormal destruction of our immune systems with too many vaccinations at too early an age that now contain toxic ingredients that didn't used to be in them 30, 40, 50 years ago. And the way they're being used. So those are the problems. I teach you what to do with it. And in my clinical work, I had found a formula that was very powerful, that if you do these foundational things, a lot of which is what your program is, Caroline, that everybody needed the nutrition lecture, the healthy food lecture, the supplement lecture, the detox lecture, the mind, body, spirit lecture, the exercise lecture. And so I used to have, I'd get small groups together for a weekend, and I'd lock them away and force them to eat healthy food. And I would teach all the lectures all at once, rather than one person, one at a time, teaching the lectures over like a month. And it was very powerful, very successful. People loved it. And I was still only teaching a dozen or two people at a time instead of hundreds. And so this book that contains all this information, you can get off my website, which is drcagesays.org, drcagesays.org. It's also available on all the usual online booksellers like Barnes & Noble. So please read it. It's powerful, and it has a very elegant formula for what really works to get sick people better. And if you're already better, mostly it'll keep you that way. And I talk about a lot of different ways to use this. Chapter 9 is a roadmap of how to start implementing all this knowledge into your life. So
love it. And you know what I like about it? It's written for the layman, for everyday people, and also for practitioners who want to take it deeper. So both can take advantage of it.
All right. Well, thank you very much, and good luck with your program, everyone.